Alright, okay guys, so we're going to show y'all two different tools today that you would be using if we were doing the hydrology lab in person. So the first one is going to be this tool right here. This is going to be called your YSI multiprobe. It can do a lot of different functions, like give you dissolved oxygen, water temperature, all that good stuff. But for this lab specifically, we're just going to be using it to get water temperature. So that's your first tool. Second tool that we're going to be using is two parts. So this part of it is going to be called your top setting weighting rod, and then it's got a little bulb down here attached to it, and this is going to be called your flow meter or electromagnetic flow meter, and also a vinyl tape that we'll show how to use here in just a second. But those are going to be your two main tools. So let's do YSI first. So all you're going to do whenever you start to use this tool is you'll press the little power button here on the control, and then the probe part itself, you're going to submerge in the water. Make sure whenever you're using this tool, when you put it in the water, you try not to stir up any sediment or anything off of the creek bottom. Otherwise it'll get in here and it might throw your readings off, especially if you're doing any other type of measurements aside from water temperature. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be the end that goes in the water. So you're going to want to make sure it's fully submerged, and you just lay it in the creek as gently as possible. Let's see if it's going to stay first of all. Okay. Okay, so once it's submerged, you're just going to let it sit there for a little bit, just about 20, 30 seconds. And then on this monitor, whenever it's done getting its readings and everything, it'll give you the options for dissolved oxygen, turbidity, all that good stuff. And then there'll be one reading that gives you water temperature. It should be in Fahrenheit. For purposes of this lab, we're going to provide y'all with the information later, just due to time's sake, but that's the general concept of how the YSI will work. Okay, so for the next part, using the top setting weighting rod and then your flow meter, you're going to need at least 2 people, probably more like 3, to do that. So the first step is going to be measuring the width of your stream section. So one person's going to have to stand on this side of the creek, the other person's going to have to walk the vinyl tape across, and then get a measurement of stream width. So, if my lovely assistants will help me. Okay, so, once you've got the tape stretched across the stream, what you're going to want to do is read your width. So let it down. You're going to want it to be, the vinyl tape to be parallel as much as it can with the stream. And then, perpendicular. Get your stream width, which is going to be about 17.9 for this one. So what you're going to do with that number for stream width is you're going to divide it into 10 sections. Okay? So you would take 17.9 divided by 10, so that would be 1.79. That means that each of the 10 increments for this stream that you're going to be measuring are going to be 1.79 feet apart. So first thing that you would do to do the first measurement is you go from stream edge 1.79 feet in. Okay, so this is where your new tool is going to come in. So you're going to take top setting weighting rod, find 1.79. Okay. So once you figured out your first section width, what you're going to do is you're going to take your top setting weighting rod with your flow meter attached at the bottom and set it in the water. So for this particular instance, our flow meter isn't actually in the creek yet because the creek's not deep enough, so this measurement would be null. And then you would continue this process all the way to the other end. So I'm going to go in till we can get the flow meter underwater. So your section 2 width, you go another 1.79 feet in. Still not in. And then we'd be at section 3, 1.79 in. Okay. Our flow meter is now under the water surface. So what you're going to do once the flow meter is under, you've got this little control box, and you're just going to leave the flow meter under the water for, I think it stays under for about 30 seconds. And then this box will give you your stream velocity reading. Okay? Make sure though, I say this like they're doing it, but whenever you have the flow meter underwater, it has a little arrow on the bulb, and it should be pointing towards the direction the stream is flowing. So make sure that it's pointed the right direction, otherwise it'll give you the wrong reading. So you continue this process all the way through. Same process over and over till you get to the other end of the stream. Okay. Another thing you need to note is that the flow meter is going to be set at 0.6 feet on the top setting weighting rod, meaning we're taking 60% of the stream flow itself. That's where the measurement is going to be at. So that's the basic principle behind the top setting weighting rod and the velocity flow meter.